guys, how are you? So as you know, you see me, it's my day or Tuesday. Tuesday or Thursday. And it's educational day. And educational day, we talk about something pertaining to STDs, or simply I give you something that came to my brain. But today is a little different. It's not different, but it's different. I want y'all to know, let me introduce myself because I'm having a lot of new subscribers. So I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm Belize. I'm the STD life coach. I serve men and women living with herpes simplex virus. I offer them education, support, and education, guys. And I simply help you overcome the stigma and live again. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's the results that you will get from me. So, guys, as you can see the title, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, okay? But I really want you guys to see the title. The title said, STIs Change You. STIs change you. Okay? Let me tell you, it will. It change you. If anybody on here who ever had an STI, and I don't care if it's been curable, because some people, I ain't never had the STI, but you had gonorrhea, chlamydia. You had an STI. I really want us to get out of this mind thinking you're better than somebody because you got it cured. You didn't. You had an STI just like everybody else. But with that being said, guys, I really want us to understand it's going to change you. You are not, listen to me, you are not going to be the same person. That person who was carefree, or that person who was, you thought you was cautious, you're just not going to be the same. So I want to talk about two different people. You got your people who are carefree, you know, open with their sexuality, doing what they do. That ain't going to be like that anymore. It's going to change, okay? Because I was that girl. It's not going to be like that anymore. Typically, it can go back to that, but you're still not going to do the same things you did before. That means simply having sex without condoms, even if you know them or not. Simply not asking about test results, and asking to see them or going to get tested together. And not simply just believing everything your doctor's saying without questioning them. Those three things are going to change. Me, I used to be that girl. I was out there getting it, doing what I do. I was getting tested. I believe I was doing everything right, but I wasn't fully educated pertaining to what was on my test. I was asking people if they'd been tested, but I wasn't asking for test results because I was just trusting people, and I had never had anything, okay? And then number three, you know, the people that I was having sex with, if I had been having sex with them for a long period of time, I wasn't using condoms. And I ain't gonna lie, I had one night stands before, and sometimes I did not use condoms. So I just thought I was being safe because I knew my status. I knew what I was doing. The people I had been with, nobody ever gave me anything, so I thought it was good. But that's still not a healthy mindset. I'm just going to be honest. It's not a healthy mindset because at the end of the day, sex is risky. It comes with a STD or a baby. That's your two consequences from outside of sex. And everybody look at both of them as negative. My whole thing is the only way to prevent those two is to, number one, educate and ask questions. And prevention. It's no other way to prevent having babies or STDs. It's no other way. You have to be educated. You have to get tested in prevention. And you may say tested for babies. No, tested is making sure that you're using some birth control or something. Or make sure he even want kids, okay, or she want kids and things like that, or doing things that you need to do. So I really want us to understand that those are the two consequences. It ain't got nothing to do with your religion that you're going to get these two consequences. A lot of us think, I'm being punished. You're not being punished. You're living out consequences that's going to happen to you if you were religious or not. If you believed or you didn't. You will live these two consequences one day out your life, or you don't have to if you making sure you're doing your due diligence, being educated, using prevention, and getting tested. You can prevent these things from happening. But it's sad to say, a lot of us are not educated enough. And it's not all your fault, and it's not all the fault of it's like an equal in between. It's this small part in the middle that neither one of us are coming together on. People who are being sexual active in the medical industry, we're still leaving out a lot of space. We're leaving out too much space that so many people in between that we're literally getting caught up in the middle. So we got to be responsible for ourselves as much as we can, but we also got to understand what you don't know you get hurt by. Okay. Because somebody was like, well, age doesn't have nothing to do with you being educated. I know people who are younger than me who are very much more educated than me. I know people who are older than me who are just not as educated. And that has nothing to do with anything. Now, we all experience different things, and in those situations you're in, you can be educated out of the situation you're in. So many of us have been in some sticky situations in our lives, not because you wanted to, because you just, life happened and you're in it, not because you're a bad person, not because you made bad decisions all the time. It's just things happen. And in that things happening, you learn. You take the time to learn, or you take the time to just, like, I got out of it, I'm good. So I want you guys to understand that STI will change you. You're just not going to be that carefree person anymore. I'm not saying that you won't have a sex life anymore, but you won't be doing things without the knowledge that you have or the experience you have anymore. When you never really experienced anything like this or ever had an STD before, you kind of just don't think about it. Let me be honest, you really don't think you're going to get an STD. You think you're being real safe. And I'm going to be honest, you're still not being safe as much as you think you are. Because most of the people I'm talking about was me. I'm saying, many clients I talk to this day say, well, I was safe, but I was like, really, you wasn't. Let me be honest. Me either. I really wasn't that safe. As much as I thought I was, I really wasn't being safe because I wasn't fully educated, and I still was being a little bit more risky than the other person who was not doing some of the things that I was doing. So a lot of us want to cushion that we were being safe, but sometimes you really wasn't. But you thought you were being safe because you had never got anything. Okay. Then you got your other person on the other side who, I got tested. I asked for their test results. I seen everything, and it still happened to me. Well, you're not exempt. I want to be honest. You're not exempt either. And I deal with clients like them as well who like, I cannot believe this happened to me. Well, you keep having sex, it's bound to happen to you. The consequences come. If don't matter who you are, it doesn't matter. And I think that's just something we have to, these two different people are literally, this is where the stigmas with STD lies. It's between these two people, the people who are out here freely doing what they want to do, and the people who don't think they doing nothing and they think they being safe. And it is in between that people have their words, the things that they say, how they feel about people who on this side, and the people on this side feeling how they feel about these sides. No lie, we're the ones who create this dumb stigma. It ain't all the medical industry, and we need to stop putting everything on the medical industry, because at the end of the day, all of it ain't them. We still got the right to what we say, how we say it, and how we treat people. Okay, I'm hungry. So with that being said, guys, we just have to be cautious of how we respond, cautious on what we speak on, and cautious to understand we're adding or we're taking away from the stigma. So you're not going to, STDs change you. They change you prior. They have you look at it prior, and also have you look at it after. So STDs change you. How we view people with STDs is one way, and how we view people without STDs is another. For example, you clean if you ain't got no STD, and you dirty if you have one. Who came up with that? We still have a view of an STD, and it changed how we view people. We didn't stop viewing people something because they have it or they don't. It doesn't matter if you have it or if you don't. It don't matter. Most of us are having sex. So my whole thing, you don't view a person bad because they're not having sex. Well, some people do. And then some people don't view person bad good because they having sex. So my whole thing is, if we don't view sex as a bad thing, then why are we viewing a consequence out of sex a bad thing? It's just a consequence. It's for like having money. People who are rich, they say, some people think that a bankruptcy is a bad thing. But if you're educated about a bankruptcy, it may not be a bad thing. But that's with education. Or people who don't have no money may look at certain things as a bad situation. And it's not always a bad situation if they were educated. Or they just been through a situation, or this is their first time in a situation. So we also have to understand that our view on STDs is so warped. Like, it's so warped. And I hope this video kind of helped us realize that it's warped, and you added to it if you didn't even realize you want to add it to it. Because a lot of well, I didn't talk about people bad who had STDs. But how did you feel about STDs anyway? Just because you never said anything bad or nasty about it doesn't mean you didn't have a misconception in your own brain, or even your response to certain things. It's still adding to it. So STDs change you. They really do, with it or without it. So I really want us to not look at this video of if I have an STD, it changed me. I want us to realize STDs change you. Period. It just changed you. The way we view it, the way we view it, the way we look at it, look at the same thing. I think it's two different things, because viewing, for me, viewing is, I am very much looking at it. I'm very much being open to what I'm learning from, and looking at it, it's just like, well, that's what it is. And it could be very, very judgmental. It could be very, it could be myths there. It could be a stigma there. Things like that, because you're just looking at it. You're like, well, they got an STD, then they had to be doing this. But if I view it, I'm more of a, well, what caused them to get their STD? What situation was? What did they know? What they didn't know? So two different words. We use them interchangeably, but I really don't believe we should. But hey, that's my perspective. That's my perspective on things. But STDs do change us. It changed everybody, with or without. And even more for individuals who do. Because when you do end up finding out that you do have an STD, you just feel like your life is over. I don't care if you have it or not. I had a young lady reach out to me today who found out she had chlamydia. And you would think, well, it's curable, and you can't look at it like that. See, that's the look word. You can't look at it like, I viewed it, say, you know what? She's literally terrified. She's literally looking at people differently. She even told me, like, I don't know how I feel about being around people. I look at sex differently. I look at everything different. I told her, you're right. You are. And you should. Because you just experienced something that you probably never think you would experience or ever experience. And it changed you. It's going to do that. The way you view things are going to be different compared to how you looked at them prior. It's just not going to be the same. And I can see so many people watching the video like, why is she tripping? It's curable. It don't matter. An STD mess with your psychological, mess with your head. Because you're thinking like, I've been with somebody. Did they know? Did they not know? How you have an STD and you don't know? If I get that question one more time, how you going to have it and you don't know it? Because most stuff do not have symptoms. Gonorrhea, chlamydia, HIV. Some people got HIV, herpes, walking around and have no clue because the symptoms are not crazy like everybody think they are. Most of the symptoms are the same as everything else. Most STD symptoms are all the same. Itching, burning, different things like that. You may experience some of that. HIV is a little different. But at the end of the day, guys, we have to understand so many things are so similar to other things that we brush it off. It's not as major as we think. It feel like if your vagina ain't falling off, or feel like it's gonna fall off, or your penis don't feel like it's about to fall off, then ain't nothing serious. I'll get over it. It gotta literally cause you some discomfort or alter your life for some people to go find out what's wrong with them. So many people think when you get your STD, you like, what? My partner had to know. Chances are they did. And sadly they do. Some people do know, but they're just so scared to tell people because of the way people look at STDs, the way people judge people with STDs, the way they speak on people with STDs, how they get rejected. People can be very mean. Now, nobody has to deal with anyone who have STD. They don't have to be with anybody who have STD. Now, I'm not going to have that misconception thinking, well, Belize, you're just trying to say that people got to be accepting of everything. No, I'm not, because I'm not accepting of everything. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am either, because I'm not. Some stuff psychologically, I don't think I can handle. Everything ain't about me, how I feel. Some stuff psychologically, I don't think I can wrap it. And that's okay. Okay? That's absolutely fine. I don't want anybody to view this video like, oh, she's just trying to make STDs okay. And, she's just trying to get everybody to accept everything. No, I'm not. But I am trying to get you to understand if you're on this side of the fence, you're going to want somebody to accept you. So don't be so all the time when you don't know when you're going to be on this side of the fence and you're going to be coming to me saying, Belize, well, I want somebody to accept me. Well, this is why we're having this conversation. So we can get to a place where everybody is just, the way they view STDs are different. We can't keep putting them on this nasty train. I don't understand who came up with that. And we want to blame people, but my whole thing is we also to blame. We got to change how we view things. And we also got to speak on things when they're being said. All this stuff that's being done on social media, are you adding or are you taking away from it? Because a lot of us are adding to it, sharing it. Why are you sharing somebody being outed? If you're not educating, then what are you doing? Literally posting it is adding to the negativity. It's adding to the shame of STDs. Not just herpes, not just HIV. It's adding to it if it's negative and nasty. And you're literally having this person being literally slaughtered out here with all these other people who don't know them. And probably been in a situation but thinking, well, I got cured, so I'm good. No, you're not good. You still need to change how you view and move and shake and think. Or you'll be back in the situation again. I'm going to tell this to you. Just because you have one STD don't mean you can't get another. A lot of y'all think, well, I got one thing, I ain't gonna get nothing else. It can if you keep thinking the way you think about STDs. You will turn around and get gonorrhea. You will turn around and get HIV. You will turn around and get herpes. Because you are not changing how you view STDs. I get this all the time. I have many women in my group, many people who come to me, and they are so negative, like pertaining to STD. You got one. How can you remain a negative person towards people who have STDs? How can you remain nasty and mean and keeping up the stigma and keeping up the myths and keeping up the hatred among it when you have it? Another reason for you to have some compassion to say you're on this side of the fence and know the pain, you know the psychological distress, you know all the struggles that go through it. You should change your outlook. You should change. Your compassion should be different. The way that you even deal with it, the way that you even see people handle it, the way that you respond to it, the things that you do pertaining to it should be different. It shouldn't be the same. It shouldn't be the same. I have many ladies want to continue to post the stuff. Why? Are you adding or are you taking away? Because to me, you seem like you're adding to it because you're still posting the same. No. Okay. Work it out. So you have to understand. You have to understand that you can add or take away from the herpes stigmas. I mean, not the herpes stigma, but the STD stigmas. You can add or take away from it. No, I'm not telling everybody to get on the platform and do what I'm doing or so many other activists doing. You don't have to do that. But honestly, we need more people, regular, basic people who are not on the platform correcting folks and telling people that ain't right. And why are you judging people because you don't know when your day is going to arrive? Literally, a lot of us are seeing these screenshots and literally be like, oh man, I can't believe that happened. And be the next day you end up getting your test results and your test results say something too. So we got to be very careful. I'm going to be honest. We got to be very careful. No STDs change you. It changed everybody with or without. And we need to change our outlook on how we treat it. Not people, it. It is a thing. It's a bacteria or a virus. We need to change that because literally that is causing us to treat people very badly. It's causing us to have people to become very suicidal. There's many people getting very depressed. People are really suffering because of how people view this STD or this STI. It's really wrecking folks. But we are like, oh, it's just, I'm talking about that STD. No, you're talking about a person who have it. You're talking about a person who have it. Somebody who's suffering with it. Somebody who don't know how to deal with it. Some people think that literally have shifted their lives. Some people's lives get wrecked by STD. They feel like they lose everything. And some people do lose everything because they have no clue where it came from. And people think they cheated. I want to tell you something. Every time somebody get an STD, that don't mean they cheated on you. Now, if they have a history of cheating, then they probably did cheat on you and get it. But that's not always the case. Because so many people have STDs and don't know they have it because they haven't been tested. Just because you don't have symptoms, you still need to get tested. It's just not about that. Just still get tested anyway. Because just because you don't see nothing don't mean it's there. There's many people walking around, for example, many people walking around with cancer and things like that and have no clue. You don't have to have a clue that you have it. It's just the best thing is to always get tested to make sure. That's where your prevention comes in. Using condoms, asking your partner, disclosing things that you know, or asking your partner about what they know about sexual education. Because a lot of people are not educated. They do stuff like they shouldn't do. They just shouldn't do. And they doing it anyway. They just shouldn't do it. So, who creeping? Mama! I'm doing a video. So, that's the biggest thing. I just want you guys to completely understand that STDs change people. It change you. The way you view it change you. And you just have to be very careful how you view it. And how you do things, because some people are really being hurt based off the things that you say, things you do. You don't know when you're gonna be in that situation, and you truly don't know if your friend have it or family member have it, and you're just being so negative and mean, and they've been wanting to tell you so they can have some comfort, and you're being like really like judgmental, and you don't even know their story. Every situation that a person have, they have a story. They have a story. It's not what you think that they're out here just being with everybody, because that's not the case. Many people are in relationships and they find out of their relationship and it shifts their whole relationship, or they may lose the relationship because of it. So I just want you guys to be way more mindful and just know After you get that STD, you're not going to be the same. And before you even get one, you are not going to be the same, because you view it one way, and then when you get it, you view it another way. So we just need to be cautious and very, very much mindful of how we deal, and also being considerate of the people that you're seeing on social media talking about it. Don't add to it. Make sure you're educating, or if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. We used to hear that from my parents all the time. Like, just don't say nothing at all, because you just never know who's in that situation or been in that situation that you're talking to or you're posting about. It's so many people reading, you never know who's being affected. So I love you guys, and I wish y'all well. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.